Okay, it's week 2 of EFL League 2. I was going to quickly run through my predictions. Notts County take on Salford. Salford were beaten at home by Crewe 3-1 last week. Notts County started with a draw at Newport. But I think Notts County are in for a good season. I'm not convinced by Salford at all, so I'm going to go for a 2-0 home win. Tranmere take on Shrewsbury. Tranmere, really impressive point at Colchester last week. Shrewsbury drew at home to Bromley. I think it's going to be a tight game as well, so I've gone for a 1-1 draw. Barrow take on MK Dons. Barrow lost away at Chesterfield last week. MK Dons, I thought they were going to get off to a really good start at home to Oldham, but drew 0-0. I still think, they're in for a really good year, and I will go for a 2-0 away win. Bromley take on Barnet. Bromley were impressive last year in their first season in League 2. Barnet have come up this year, not off to the best of starts at all. I think there are a lot of people's dark horses. I can't see it myself, and I think Bromley will win 2-0. Cheltenham take on Chesterfield. Cheltenham got off to a losing start last week at Cambridge. Chesterfield, like I said, they beat Barrow at home. Fancy goals in this game, and I fancy Chesterfield to win. So I've gone for a 3-1 away win. Crawley take on Newport. Crawley seemed miles off it last week away at Grimsby, easily beaten 3-0. Like I said, Newport, that was a good point for them at home to Notts County. I think Crawley have got to bounce back a bit from last week's defeat. So I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Crewe take on Accrington. Like I said, Crewe off to a really good start last week. Accrington got a point at home to Gillingham. They then had a really convincing win in the League Cup preliminary round, I think, at home to Oldham. So not a bad start for Accrington, but Crewe, I think they're going to be quick out the blocks. I'm going to go for a 3-0 home win. Gillingham take on Walsall. Walsall got off to a good start, last minute winner against Swindon. Gillingham, like I said, they drew quite a lot last year as well, so maybe they're going to carry on in that form. And I do fancy a draw in this one as well, so I've gone for a 1-1 draw. Fleetwood take on Bristol Rovers. Fleetwood, really good start with a 2-0 win at Barnet. Bristol Rovers with a surprising 1-0 home defeat to Harrogate. I think they would be really disappointed with that. I don't think Fleetwood would be the easiest of places to go, so I do fancy a home win. So I've gone for a 2-1 home win to Fleetwood. On to Harrogate, they take on Grimsby. Like I said, Harrogate, really good win last week. Grimsby, like I said, impressive win as well. I think they're in for a good season, and I think they will nick a win here, 1-0. Oldham take on Colchester. A really good point for Oldham at MK Dons. I'm not sure what sort of team they had out against Accrington in the Cup in the week, but like I said, they were quite easily beaten. Colchester, I think they're in for a good season, so I think they'll win here. I've gone for a 2-1 away win. And finally, Swindon take on Cambridge. Swindon, like I said, they lost in the last minute at Walsall, so I'd be disappointed with that. Cambridge got off to a winning start at home to Cheltenham. I think it's going to be quite a tight game, so I've gone for a 1-1 draw. So there are my predictions for this week. Let's see how I get on.